Hey there, Jaguar Prince again. This is video 7 of the Ancestor Veneration video course or video series. I haven't figured out what to really call it. Doesn't matter though, video 7. And this is about the code of ethics, conducts, and integrity when it comes to ancestor veneration. I want to touch on something that happens a lot on social media when it comes to the talk of ancestor veneration. I see a lot of posts of people saying that, and if you don't come to me correctly, my ancestors will get you. It's not my fault for how my ancestors handle you or deal with you if you cross me. Um, and what else? They say a lot of stuff like that. I'm thinking about one more, but just different variations of the same kind of sentiment and tone. Kind of like using your ancestors as an AK-47, you know, uh, stuff like that. And I'm trying to think of the other one, but it all sounds the same. I'm pretty sure you're probably catching on to what I'm saying if you have been on social media and you've been following people who are quote unquote spiritual or are into this kind of stuff. And from time to time they will speak about ancestors, or they would share posts about ancestors, right? But some of these posts are along the lines of uh just be careful about how you deal with me. Oh, you did this to me. My ancestors can do that to you. Here's what I want to say about that. That's improper. That's not good conduct. That's not good ethics for this work. You're also creating a certain image of this kind of stuff that is not necessarily positive. I understand the need for people to who want to feel like they got some protection, that they got someone to watch their back, that there is someone that is, cares about any injustice towards them. But leave them out of that level of psychological drama, please. Then don't weaponize them like that. Um, a lot of people who will say this come from an egotistical standpoint. Uh, it's a lower nature kind of motivation. It stems from a lower nature. Also, pretty sunny, hitting right here while I'm making through this video. Also, what I was going to say is, um, you don't gotta drag your ancestors and how your poor dealings with people. It's because some of this shit your fault too, and you're dragging your ancestors into this kind of stuff, into this kind of talk, beefing and puffing yourself up, all ego driven. This is a spiritual practice. Respect the spiritual place, please. Respect the integrity of what this thing is. Respect your words too, and how you, because you're gonna. Why would you represent your ancestors in this kind of way? The other thing, consider this, because this is why I made my previous videos to describe the loss of the scrutinizing mind or the warrior mind um, after death. Not that they're passive and they're just simply letting anything happen to them or happening to you. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a certain degree of relief from psychological drama, and from the tension of some human dealings. A certain level of that tension is gone. So why would you reinvite them into that, or why would you think that they would have the same mental approach that you do? You know what I'm saying? They're not driven by ego as you are as a human. When you're in a human body, you're driven heavily by ego. Well, a lot of people are driven heavily by ego. After you die, that's less of the case. So here's where we start misapplying things and thinking that our mentality is gonna be their mentality. No, 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 no. And also, even if you didn't know about all of that, have some respect. Have some respect. This is not good conduct. Be decent. Have some class, please. If you do gotta tell your ancestors about someone who hurts you or things like that, there's ways to do it, and you can do it, in the privacy of your own devotion. You don't gotta flaunt this stuff to the world. You don't have to flaunt your ego. Flaunt, oh, I got my ancestors. Uh, they will take care of people that bother me. Nah, please respect this talk. Respect this. People just want to feel empowered in a certain way. People just want to feel feared because of how they were, afraid of others, or afraid to stand up for themselves, or there's a whole lot of psychological drama going on here, and which is really what it comes down to. So please don't drag ancestors in psychological drama. It's not correct. It's improper. And consider this: you may have a issue with so and so, and or these people do, and these people are making this post about because of quote unquote they have a so and so in their mind probably, or most times there is one. What if your ancestors, because they're on a higher level of perception, they could perceive that you and that so and so are of a common bloodline. Back in time, they might see the trail of genetics, the trail of ancestry. Y'all are kind of connected like distant cousins. And you want me to go AK-47 on this person? Really? And the other thing is, not everything has to be dealt with a high level of disturbance, so to speak, or a high level of, because people are, when they say this, there's a certain level of aggression, there's a certain level of, um, I want to see some, like, within their imaginations, let's say, it's not that things are dealt with peacefully, like within the water nature of reconciliation and wise, mature, problem solving kind of thing. Now, people have like a whole action movie in their imagination with how their ancestors deal with people that bother them or people that they don't like. But consider, would you want a wise old sage to approach things that way, or would you expect them to have a certain level of wisdom to deal with situations? Yeah, you don't really think of a sage popping an AK-47 at, people in the hood like that. Or people that you don't like. There's a certain level of, hey, let's come together, let's talk about it. Sometimes they can see so and so that you may have issues with, and they can see that you are actually the problem. Not just them alone. You also got your own faults, and they may help you, realize your own faults. Or they may look at that person, they could see, why these issues are bothering them, what was their childhood like, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. You think they're gonna go, especially when you really understand someone, you don't really want to go at them very aggressively because you have a certain level of compassion from that understanding. So they can be compassionate about even some of your quote unquote enemies as well, because they may have a certain spiritual sight that allows them to perceive these things. But you be out here all militarized and geared up. Come on, that was humanity. At least when they've gone, give them some rest. Whereas, like, here's why a lot of people, they live their mind, it's just talk. People go with just talk. You say rest in peace to them, but once you know that they have a presence somewhere, you want to, gear them up for battle. I thought you said rest in peace. I thought you said, this is why this video series is so important, to get people into the right and correct mindset. Another thing to consider is, don't be taking photographs or videos of your ancestor altar for show. Okay, I don't think that's right. One time I tried to do that on this very phone I'm using right now to record this video, it fucking crashed. I was trying to actually demonstrate something to a client of mine who wanted to understand something about ancestor work, and I was about to take a video at the altar, and the damn phone crashed. So I had to, do that demonstration somewhere else outside of the where the ancestor altar was in my place. So, and that's because you got to regard or respect the sacredness and sanctity of this work, this space, the intimacy of this connection, what it is. You gotta think about that. Man, it's so sunny I can't even see my face on this video screen right now. But I'm just gonna keep talking, hoping it still looks good. Also, the way we speak about ancestors, don't joke about it. Don't have a certain level of reverence and veneration. I hope that people who are in this course are sensible people. I'm just asking y'all to have a certain level of respect. This ain't no plaything. The same respect y'all have for, I'm not even sure if people have respect for Jesus, to be honest, when I really think about it. Like, really, really think about it. But the same respect, and it's not this, I am so lowly, you are so highly type. No, that's a whole nother thing. But just really true, genuine respect, and knowing, everything having its place and respecting the integrity of what these things are. So no jokes about ancestors, no comedy sketches about ancestors either. Uh, Especially if when you regard them as ancestors, that's not. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't recommend anyone to do that. Okay. Uh, just truly have that sense of reverence and veneration, like it says, ancestor veneration. I apologize for that noise. But like it says in the definition itself, ancestor veneration. There has to be a certain level of veneration or reverence in this kind of thing. So um, I would end by saying this. I hope that you are a sensible person, and I hope that the examples I provided in this video will help to remind people to be sensible about this thing, have a sensible mind, and not one that is, egotistical, not having a mind state that is polluted or is about to pollute the sanctity of this work. So that's all I wanted to say. Mind yourself, have some class, have some decency, and don't post uh, memes on social media like the ones that give examples of. That's not proper. That's not classy. You know, think of wise sage attitude and apply that. Apply that. Okay. It's not about some kind of egotistical self gratification. It's not for any kind of flaunting. Um, Shit gets real over here, so please respect it as such. And with that being said, I'm gonna end this video right here. Thank you for watching, and see y'all in video number 8.